there is someone with serious money, and I'm not talking comfortable. I'm not talking does well for themselves. I'm talking genuinely wealthy in a way that changed how people treat them a long time ago. And this person has been searching for something their entire life that money could not buy. They've looked for it in every room they've walked into, every relationship, every date, every person who smiled at them a little too eagerly and laughed at jokes that weren't funny and agreed with opinions they were clearly testing to see if anyone would push back on. They have been searching for someone real, someone raw, someone who doesn't perform, someone whose personality isn't curated or calculated or designed to impress. And they found it. They found you. And it hit them so hard, they still haven't fully recovered. That's what we're getting into today. Okay, so I literally had to stop what I was doing to record this because the energy on this one is intense in a way I was not expecting. I'm Stella Love Tarot with Stella. Subscribe if you're new because we stay busy around here. Real quick, only take what resonates, leave what doesn't. You know how we do. Now, let me get into this because, oh my gosh, I need to talk about this immediately. Let me tell you about yourself first because you need to hear this from somebody who actually means it. You are unfiltered, not rude, unfiltered. There is a massive difference, and most people never bother to learn it. Rude is saying things to hurt people. Unfiltered is saying things because they're true, and you respect the person in front of you enough to give them truth instead of comfort. You don't sugarcoat, you don't perform enthusiasm, you don't laugh at things that aren't funny just to make someone comfortable. When you think something is stupid, you say it's stupid, not cruelly, not loudly, but clearly enough that nobody in the room misunderstands your position. And when you love something, you love it the same way, fully, loudly, without embarrassment, without checking first to see if it's cool enough to love. You are the same volume at every frequency. Honest when it's easy, honest when it's hard, honest when honesty costs you something. And that consistency of character, that refusal to edit yourself for the room, it is the rarest thing walking around on this planet right now. And you don't even know it's rare because it's all you've ever been. And here's what you need to understand about what that does in a room. Most people, and I mean the overwhelming majority of people, are performing at all times. They're reading the room, adjusting their opinions, calibrating their personality to match whatever they think will get them accepted or liked or rewarded. They are shapeshifters, professional ones. And they're so good at it that they don't even realize they're doing it anymore. It's become automatic, reflexive. They couldn't tell you what their actual opinion is on half the things they've agreed with this week because they never checked. They just mirrored whoever had the most power in the room and called it their own thought. And then there's you. You walk in with no mirror, no calibration, no algorithm running in the background, calculating the optimal version of yourself to present. You just show up as whatever you are that day, messy or polished, tired or energized, soft or sharp, and you let people deal with the unedited version. And some people can't handle that. Some people find it uncomfortable. Some people find it threatening. But the right people, the people who have been drowning in performance their whole lives, they find it like oxygen. And this person found you and took the deepest breath they've taken in years. Because let me tell you who this person is. And I need you to understand the context because the context is everything. This person has money, real money, the kind that changes the social physics around you permanently. The kind where you stop being able to tell who actually likes you versus who likes what you can provide. The kind where every interaction becomes a transaction you didn't agree to. People want access, proximity, favors, funding, connections, invitations. Everyone wants something. And after a while, after years of this, you develop a radar, a hypersensitivity to agenda. You start scanning every smile for motive, every compliment for angle, every friendship for what it's actually costing and what the other person is actually purchasing. And it's exhausting. It's the most isolating kind of exhaustion because you can't even talk about it without sounding like you're complaining about having money. And nobody wants to hear that. So you just carry it quietly alone, surrounded by people who would leave if the money did. And that's exactly the wound this person carries. They have been surrounded their entire adult life, and they have been fundamentally alone for almost as long. They know what it feels like to have a full calendar and an empty inner circle. They know what it's like to wonder if the person sitting across from them at dinner would still be there if they lost everything tomorrow. They've tested this, maybe not explicitly, maybe not out loud, but they've watched, they've paid attention. They've noticed who sticks around when there's nothing to gain. And the answer has been devastating more times than they'll admit. People leave when the utility runs out. People adjust when the status shifts. People perform loyalty until the cost of performing exceeds the benefit of staying. And this person has seen that cycle so many times that they stopped expecting anything different. They built walls, not obvious ones, not cold, not rude, not visibly guarded, sophisticated ones, charm walls, generosity walls, the kind of walls that look like openness but are actually strategic distance. They let people close enough to feel included, but never close enough to actually matter. Because if you never let someone matter, they can never prove that they wouldn't have stayed. And then they met you. And you walked right through every wall they had without even noticing the walls were there. Not because you're manipulative, not because you're strategic, because you're so authentically yourself that their walls, which were designed to detect performance, had nothing to detect. Their radar scanned you and came back empty. Not empty as in nothing there, empty as in no agenda found, no performance detected, no calibration identified, just a person being a person, saying what they actually think, laughing when something is actually funny, disagreeing when they actually disagree, and this person's entire defense system, this sophisticated, expensive, years in the making armor just stood down like a guard dog that sniffs someone and lies back down because the scent is clean. That's what you did to their defenses. You didn't break them, you didn't storm them, you didn't even knock. You just walked through them like they were made of smoke. And the part that undid this person completely, you had no idea you were doing it. You weren't trying to get past their guard. You weren't strategizing about how to earn their trust. You weren't even thinking about them in that way. You were just being you. Regular, unfiltered, take it or leave it you. And that absence of strategy, that total lack of agenda, is exactly what made you the first person in years to reach the part of them they actually protect. The part that money built a fortress around. The part that hasn't been touched by another human being's genuine energy in longer than they'd ever admit. If the initials F, O, or P mean something to you right now, pay close attention. Those letters keep pulsing through and they're connected to this person or to someone who introduced you into each other's world. If it lands, drop it in the comments. Now, here's what happened after their walls came down. And this is the part that's really getting to me because the energy is almost overwhelming. This person started doing something they haven't done in a very long time. They started paying attention to someone without calculating the cost. They started caring about your day without assessing what caring would cost them strategically. They started looking forward to seeing you without running the interaction through their usual risk assessment filter first. And for someone who has spent years treating every human connection as a potential liability, that unfiltered caring felt like jumping out of an airplane without checking for a parachute first. Thrilling and terrifying in equal measure. Because the last time they cared without calculating, the last time they let someone pass the charm wall and into the actual interior, they got hurt badly. Someone used their access to extract something, someone proved the radar right, and this person swore to themselves consciously, deliberately, maybe even out loud to an empty room at 2 a.m. that they would never be that unguarded again. And then you showed up being aggressively genuine, and their entire vow collapsed in under a month. And here's the specific thing about you that broke them. It wasn't one thing, it was a pattern. It was the fact that you treat them exactly the same way you treat everyone else. You don't adjust your energy based on what you think they can do for you. You don't get more agreeable. You don't get more accommodating. You don't suddenly develop a fascination with things you don't care about. You challenge them on something, once maybe pushed back on an opinion, maybe called something out, maybe just looked at them with an expression that clearly communicated that you were not impressed, and in that moment, something inside them unlocked that had been sealed for years. Because nobody pushes back, nobody challenges, nobody risks the access by being honest. Everyone just agrees and accommodates and performs agreements so convincingly that this person forgot what real agreement even looks like versus manufactured consent, and then you disagreed with them. And it was so refreshing, it almost knocked the wind out of them. They replayed that moment. I keep getting that. They have replayed the moment you pushed back, whatever it was, whatever the topic, dozens of times. Not because they were offended, because they were grateful, because someone finally treated them like a person instead of a portfolio. I keep getting the number four here: foundation, structure, stability. And four is telling me that what this person feels for you is not infatuation, it's not novelty, it's not the excitement of something new that will fade when the newness wears off. This is foundational. This is someone whose feelings for you are being built on bedrock, on truth, on tested authenticity, on the fact that you've already shown them who you are without knowing you were being evaluated, and you passed without trying. That's the most reliable foundation a connection can have. Not chemistry, not attraction, truth. And truth doesn't expire. And the jealousy, oh, this person's jealousy is a whole situation because they're used to being the most desirable option in any room. That's not arrogance, it's math. Money creates gravity, status creates options. They've always been the one who could have whoever they wanted, and now they've encountered someone they want who doesn't seem to care about any of the things that usually make them the obvious choice. Your indifference to their status is simultaneously the most attractive and most threatening thing they've ever experienced, because they've never had to be interesting without help. They've never had to hold someone's attention without the gravity assist of wealth or power or the things wealth and power provide. With everyone else, the money does at least some of the work. With you, it does none. With you, they could be a billionaire or a bus driver, and you'd evaluate them the same way based on what comes out of their mouth and whether it's real. And that equal playing field is the most terrifying arena they've ever stepped into. Attractive, because it confirms you're real. Threatening, because it means they can't buy your attention. They can't leverage their position. They can't use the tools that have always worked before. With you, they are just a person. No advantage, no shortcut, no cheat code. Just another human being trying to earn another human being's genuine interest with nothing to offer but themselves. And they haven't been just themselves, stripped of status, stripped of resources, stripped of everything that usually does the heavy lifting in so long that they're not even sure who that person is anymore. You are forcing them to find out. And that excavation, that digging through layers of wealth and status and performance to find the actual human underneath is the most important work they've done in years. And you caused it by accident, by just being yourself. Now, drop everything if this is hitting you right now. If you know exactly who this person is, comment "they found what money can't buy" below. Like this video, subscribe if you're not already, and tell me who just came to mind because I read every single comment and this reading is loaded. I keep getting the number 11 here: awakening, alignment, twin pillars. And 11 is confirming what I'm already feeling. This connection is not casual. This is a soul level recognition. Two people who appear to come from completely different worlds, different tax brackets, different daily realities, different social physics, but who are made of the exact same material underneath all of it: the same honesty, the same protectiveness, the same refusal to be anything other than what they are, even when being something else would be easier. You are mirrors. You just don't know it yet because his mirror is covered in marble and yours is covered in truth, and they look different from the outside, but the reflection is identical. And physically, because this is coming through strong, and I need to say it, this person finds you devastatingly attractive. And I want you to hear the word devastating because I chose it carefully. Not cute, not pretty, not handsome, devastating. You do something to their body that they cannot control and cannot replicate with anyone else. Other people are attractive to them in the way a nice painting is attractive. You notice it, you appreciate it, you move on. You are attractive to them in the way a live wire is attractive, dangerous, compelling, impossible to look away from, potentially life altering if they touch it. They have imagined being close to you, really close, and the thought creates a physical response so strong they have to consciously redirect their thinking to function normally. Their mouth goes dry, their hands get restless, there's a heat in their chest that radiates downward and they cannot will it away. And this is someone who is used to being around beautiful people. Beautiful is not the variable. You are the variable. Something about the way you carry yourself, unapologetic, unperforming, raw, makes the physical attraction exponentially more intense than anything beauty alone could generate. For my Leo, Sagittarius, Aquarius, and Scorpio viewers, this is hitting especially hard for you. And I keep picking up Capricorn or Taurus energy on this person, Earth energy, builder energy. Someone who constructs empires but can't construct a sentence that accurately conveys how you make them feel. Someone whose emotional vocabulary is about 15 years behind their financial vocabulary. I keep getting the number 8 now: abundance, overflow, harvest. And I need to connect this to your financial situation specifically because there's something here. You have been undervalued financially, professionally, structurally. You've been giving premium output and receiving clearance rack compensation. Something about your work situation or your income or your creative output has not been matching the level of what you actually produce, and that is about to change. Not because of this person, not because someone wealthy is going to rescue you, but because the same energy that makes you magnetic is the same energy that creates financial breakthroughs. Authenticity is a currency, and the market is about to pay you what you're actually worth. Now, here's what's coming through about what happens next between you and this person. They are going to create access. Not buy it, create it. They're going to find a way to be around you that doesn't involve their usual tools. No flashy gestures, no expensive offers, no leveraging of resources to manufacture proximity. They're going to do something simple, something human, something that a person without their means could do just as easily because they've understood, maybe not consciously but instinctively, that anything purchased won't count with you. Any access gained through advantage will feel contaminated. The only way in with you is through the front door, as a regular person with nothing to offer but their actual self. And that terrifies them because their actual self, stripped of everything they've built around it, is something they haven't shown anyone in years, maybe ever. They don't even know if their actual self is likable. They genuinely don't know. They know the wealthy version is liked. They know the generous version gets invited places. They know the successful version attracts attention. But the version underneath all of that, the person they were before the money, the person they'd be if it all disappeared tomorrow, they have no idea if that person is enough. And the thought of showing that version to you specifically, to the one person whose opinion actually matters to them, is the most frightening thing they've contemplated in decades. Because if that version isn't enough for you, then nothing is. And that's a verdict they're not sure they can survive. You are about to receive a version of this person that nobody else has seen. And the fact that you won't be impressed by it in the way other people would be impressed by the polished version, that's exactly why they're going to show it to you. I keep getting the initials Y and R connected to this shift, and the number three, divine creativity, expression, the trinity of mind, body, spirit aligning. Whatever happens next between you two is going to feel creative, generative, like something new is being built that didn't exist before and couldn't exist with any other combination of people. You are not interchangeable in this dynamic. Nobody else would do. Nobody else could do what your specific brand of raw honesty does to this specific person's carefully constructed armor. It has to be you. It was always going to be you. And here's what I want to leave you with because I need you to carry this with you when you close this video. Your personality, the unedited, unpolished, takes no prisoners, says what they actually think, laughs too loud, cares too hard, doesn't know how to be fake even when it would benefit them, personality that is not your liability. That has never been your liability, even though the world has treated it like one. Every job that didn't appreciate you, every relationship where someone asked you to tone it down, every room where you felt like too much, every person who chose someone more palatable over you, all of that was filtration. All of it was the universe clearing the path so that when the right person finally showed up, the person who has been searching for exactly what you are their entire life, there would be no competition. No alternative, no diluted version of you standing in the way. Just you, full strength, uncut, and more than enough. This person didn't find you by accident. They found you because they've been looking for you, not you specifically, but the thing you are, for as long as they can remember. And every performance they sat through, every fake laugh they endured, every person who agreed with them when they shouldn't have, all of it was making them hungrier for what you carry without even trying. You are the end of a search they were starting to think would never end, and they are terrified, and they are grateful, and they are about to let you know, okay, I need you to go receive this now. Stop apologizing for your personality. Stop editing yourself. Stop wondering if you're too much. You are exactly the right amount for the person who's been starving for something real. If this hit like this video right now, share it with someone who needs to hear they're not too much. Subscribe because I am literally always in here dropping something, and comment below because I read every single one and I want to know who found what money can't buy. Okay, go. I love you. Bye.